Should we do a clap?
Yeah, okay. We should. Let's do a high five because
Hello everyone,
and welcome.
Welcome to a very liminal episode of Movies That Intimidate Me. I think that was pretty good.
That was good.
It's like a 7 out of 10 intro.
Yeah. Okay.
Although we are morally against giving things numerical ratings.
Yes.
We said. I was gonna say in the first episode, but was that in the lost episode?
No, that it might have been a lost episode. It might have been, yeah.
Well,
we talked about being I said that I'm morally against giving ratings or stars to films.
Yeah,
and I said that was a very strong stance. You better back that up with good evidence. And I can't remember what I said after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
We're
back, and What's going on? I normally stay over, so today I've got to get train back 'cause I'm in work tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So
we have a very limited time to record. Also, I might be a bit lower energy than usual. I went away at the weekend and I'm still recovering. I went to go surprise my friend in Brighton for his birthday, which, if you don't know anything about geography, is like the furthest point away from here in the country. So it was fucking long.
Yeah.
From like Friday night to Sunday afternoon. 10-hour return trip.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And when I got there, I just basically drank for the whole time. So I'm suffering, and it's really stuffy in this room. Friday night to Sunday afternoon.
Oh, okay, till Sunday.
And then obviously we got up to something on Thursday, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a second.
That was Thursday. Wow.
That was Thursday. That was 5 days ago. Yeah, it's Tuesday, day of recording.
I mean, well, what was that? We went to see Take That. Let's just come out and say it.
Let's come out and say it. You know what? We all saw Take That, and it was phenomenal.
I cannot stop thinking about how good that was.
I've been telling everyone I know about it.
Because
it's like
we would go tickets were free on Twitter.
We got free VIP Golden Circle tickets on Twitter, which, if you don't know, like, the way they do stadium gigs now is it's not just enough to get standing tickets on the floor. You have to then pay extra if you want to be closer to the stage. And I guess I'm not going to guess from being there, they massively undersold the Golden Circle. All the seats were sold.
But presumably those are the best. No, those are the most expensive tickets. Right?
Yeah, £130 a ticket they were.
Jesus Christ,
and
that's crazy.
We found a link on Twitter that got us free Golden Circle tickets. So
funny.
Me and two friends, we drove down from Liverpool to Coventry. Obviously, you live in Birmingham, so it was like not far for you. And we just prayed that the tickets worked, and they worked. And you got to see the script, but we got stuck in traffic, so we missed the script.
Yeah,
got to see Gary Barlow,
mate. Alright, because obviously people were like laughing, going, "Oh, you take that? That's funny." And I was like, "Yeah, it's funny." I've just been raving about it.
It was incredible.
Singing, I've been like, I realised I actually didn't know that much about Take That. I just I knew a couple of songs. But now I'm clued up on the lore. I'm like, I know, like, when you know Jason Orange is completely retired from entertainment.
He just lives in the country somewhere.
It's crazy.
And
like, so now I know all like their backstory, and like I've been watching like live videos on this. And I was like, I want to see videos from when they all got back together in 2014 or whatever. It was so good. Really good. Gary Barlow's voice is like insane. I was just stood there, like, in awe. It was crazy.
Mark's my favourite. As I said at the time, I think he's probably the least talented, but he's got the most charisma, and I just respect that.
Yeah. And when I looked on the screen, it was him. When I looked at him from, on the stage in real life, I just kept thinking it was Christoph Waltz. I looked exactly like him, and it was really funny thinking Christoph Waltz doing that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Christoph Waltz needs to have a little patience.
Yeah. Okay. That was good.
Yeah.
One
for the Take That fans out there.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
No, it was amazing, and I just honestly I just keep thinking about it and go, that was it was great, because I would never
pay
have
to go
paid
see
for
them.
it, and I wouldn't pay, even though I know it would be good.
How much would you pay?
I would pay. No, because what made it so magical was being in the Golden Circle, and there's no way I'm paying £130 for it. like I don't think I would go see them sitting down. It was like
No.
something about, and because it didn't sell out, we were just able to walk to and
Yeah.
from the B and A stage.
They had a B stage, and we'd walk up to the B stage, and literally, like, you felt like you were in a 400 cap venue when they were on the B stage. You were that close to them. I was closer, I think, to Gary Barlow there than I was when I went to see Catfish's original guitarist in like a tiny basement venue in Liverpool a few weeks ago.
That's crazy. And like, oh my god, yeah. So that was brilliant, and that is in no way related to cinema.
Yeah.
Although if it was filmed, that it would be a cinematic masterpiece.
And also, I did a 6.5 hour round trip to go to that concert.
Yeah.
So that's all. I did that Thursday.
I know
went to
it's-
work Friday and then travelled to Brighton Friday
That's
night.
rough,
So I'm fucking shattered.
I've seen a few films this week. Finally, so I went to. Did you know? Did you see on my letterbox? I saw finally 2001.
No. Okay.
I'd never watched 2001 before.
I'm so scared. What did you think?
I just don't think it was all that. No, I'm joking. It was mind blowing. Like.
I was ready to cry. I was ready to end the pod there forever.
But you know what? I watched it. It's a film that's intimidating. It would be on the list if Dan hadn't watched it before. It's one of your favourite films, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
I've seen it countless times.
yeah. Well, it would be on my list. Like it's long and it's like it's there's a lot riding on it but now because of this I'm like so in the mood to watch new films all the time. And like now I can just lock in and watch a film, where it's like when we first watched Barry Lyndon I was like fuck it out, but now I can lock in and be like I'm gonna watch this film like that. That's crazy.
I've had a box set of a bunch of 1930s horror movies that I've had for years. I've been watching them all.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking, what if this one's boring? I think, well, if it is, it'll be over in like an hour and 10 minutes. So I'll just watch it. So I think I mentioned last time that I'd seen Dracula, but I've watched 3 more.
That's it.
Been incredible.
Great.
I've had a great time. But anyway, back to 2001.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Oh my god, just absolutely mind blowing. I mean, I'm gonna watch it again. It was just.
What were your thoughts on the ending?
I also had no idea about. I don't know how I've managed to avoid spoilers.
Okay.
The only thing I think I did know, because whenever it comes up in a video essay or something, I skip it. But I think I did know already that like Hal is evil.
Okay.
But that you kind of get the sense. It's quite quick once you meet Hal in it that you kind of get the sense it's dodgy. And so and the opening scene, I was like, and like.
I mean, it's parodied in a lot of things. Parodied in Barbie.
Well,
They've done it in The Simpsons.
Yeah. And it was just, I mean, that beginning, I really love how long the opening goes on for.
Yeah.
Because when it then switches, like in that cut to 2001, it's, I don't know, that the sense of like scale of time is just like, I don't know, it was just so moving when they swapped. It was beautiful. And I did not realize how slow it was going to be. I mean, when I watched it, Kate was like, was it, people say it's boring. It's like, I just didn't ever know that it really surprised me how
patient
slow
it
and
is.
patient and drawn out the scenes are.
Has a little patience.
Yeah, Gary would like it. Yeah, and the set design. Mate, this film is so way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
I cannot believe this was made in 1968.
It's so good.
It's actually
Can you
mind-blowing.
see why there's such a big conspiracy theory that Kubrick faked the moon landing?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I didn't know that was a thing, but...
Oh, did you not?
No,
yeah,
no.
because of this film and because
They said that...
the moon landing
Actually, I think I have heard
looks so similar to 2001, people think that
course, and it
Kubrick
was only
faked
a
the
year
moon
later,
landing.
Yeah.
But also, I'm pretty sure people have been to space before
Yeah.
2001 came out.
It's just absolutely mind-blowing. The end... Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd have to watch it. It totally caught me off guard because I just had no idea that was coming. That sequence of going... Because, I mean, I love Interstellar.
Yeah.
And I love the visuals of Interstellar. I think, like, the way it plays with time. Like, I don't know, it's just... watching this, I just thought, wow, it did it way before Interstellar ever did it.
Yeah.
It's Alex.
Yeah, I think he's just going to the toilet. I think we're all right.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I was just, oh my god, I thought Interstellar was like, they did it first. It was just so good.
Literally 50 years earlier.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, the ending.
Well, before we get to the ending, there's one bit I want to ask you about. Well, not ask, but were we talking on here, or was this just like a face-to-face conversation we had, saying about the most disturbing movies we'd ever seen? Most disturbing moments we'd ever seen in a movie?
Can't remember.
Because 2001, even though it's rated U, has still one of the most disturbing sequences I think I've ever seen in a film.
Is that when
Hal gets shut down and he's saying, please don't do this, and you slowly see his mind go.
Yeah.
And he starts singing nursery rhymes.
That voice is horrible.
And it's so... I'm blanking on all the words because I haven't mentally prepared myself to talk about this film. It's so procedural the way it's played out, and it's so patient, and the way every moment is so accounted for. Nothing's rushed over to kind of get the pace going. You watch everything so intricately that when things happen, you feel such an air of tension. And that scene of just this being like dying and knowing that he's dying and feeling his mind disappear, almost begging to not go, is horrific.
Yeah.
Like, that really upset me the first time I saw it when I was 15.
I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect film. I mean, I would understand why someone would be like, that doesn't work. Like,
yeah.
But
my parents weren't
into
into it.
To knock it.
They weren't into it when I took them to see it, but they're not really into slower cinema and more art house cinema.
Just amazing.
Yeah. And do you have any theories on what you think the ending sort of is about and what it means?
I mean, it could be anything.
Yeah.
You could say literally anything and it would kind of fit. I don't know. Yeah, maybe he was he? I don't know. I kind of was getting a sense he was. I don't think this was while I was watching it because I was just like, but afterwards I was thinking, I don't know. Was he put there? Was he being?
Being
watched? I don't know.
He's in the equivalent of a zoo for a higher life form.
Yeah. That's the feeling I was getting.
It starts off and it's like the monkeys who evolve into the man, who evolves into the machine, and then a life form even higher than the machine that we can't comprehend is where the movie ends up. And is what I've always taken it to be.
And they've kind of put him in a room that's like sort of resembles
the way an animal enclosure in a zoo would be.
Yeah. Yes, of course, because if you're observing humans, you go, that's the kind of... And you've recreated that.
Yeah.
But not quite.
So that's always kind of what I've taken that ending to be.
That's what I was feeling. So that's good that you said that.
It's been a good few years since I've seen it. I think I was probably 3-4 years since I last watched it, so
you wrote
definitely
about your GCSEs, didn't you?
Did I?
Didn't you write a review about it in your like GCSE English or something?
Probably. That sounds like something I'd do.
Yeah.
I remember I analysed a Star Wars Force Awakens review.
Nice.
In an English lesson, but it was from Empire magazine, and we were told to annotate it, and I didn't want to draw in my magazine, so I photocopied
it. Nice. Yeah, it was just amazing. And it was, So so that was one of the best films I've ever seen. I also went to the cinema to watch Chow UFO.
What is Chow UFO?
So I was just on. Where was Kate? Because I was just like, I'm just gonna go do something. I think she must have been out or got somewhere. So I was just like, I just went on to look at what's on the cinema. I didn't want to watch. I think we hadn't watched Obsession yet.
Okay.
Because I went to see Obsession again. But I took Kate. I think this was before that because I would have gone to see that. And then I saw this film. I think it was a 2019 film. But it's now only just being released, like worldwide. It did like a really tiny release, so it's a Hong Kong film, and it's about these kids that have this UFO sighting, and then all through their lives they're like just want to see the UFO again. It's really terrible. It was dog shit. No, it was awful. My favorite line in it was No, I couldn't even describe it. Like, it's so convoluted. Like, there's so many characters. I thought I was stupid, but like actually a lot of. Then I've read reviews, and it takes place in the late 90s. So like, I think a big moment for Hong Kong, in terms of like politically. So it's like touching on some things like that. And like a few people, I saw a few reviews saying like, oh yeah, my mum really liked this because she was like in Hong Kong at the time or whatever. But then they were like, but it was just shit. So it was just that's it. So it's just like the most sentimental, like I don't know how to. Everything is like, don't give up hope. Whimsical. That's the word I'm looking for. Sentimental,
Man, I
whimsical.
hate whimsy.
Every scene ended with shot in 24 frames a second, and then like every other scene ends with a slow mode like last 5 seconds, but because it's not shot for slow mo, it goes jittery because they were just like, oh yeah, put that in there. It makes no sense. Oh, the editing is insane. So it'll be like if this is the wide shot. Right, so there's a scene which is a good example. There's a wide shot, they're chatting, blah blah, blah, and their like granddad walks in behind. And they go, oh, hi, do you want some water? And he goes, yeah, in Cantonese. And then it cuts, and she's like pouring it. So it skips like 2 seconds in the same shot, but not for style. Just for like, it's like they didn't press record until like, but it does that like every scene, and it's so jarring. Or they'll be like, oh, do you want to go get some lunch? Yeah, okay. And then they're just eating lunch, but not in a shot that's changes. Change. It's like basic, but it's not a match cut. Like, it's not done on purpose. It's just like a really jarring cut that they, you might cut to like someone eating like that to change, the location or something. But it's just like very similar, very similar, a little bit different. And it's like every scene is like that. God, it was. It's like
it wasn't shot. It's like it was made with coverage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like when you watch a soap opera.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no thoughts behind the shots other than we put the camera down and
exactly.
act. It was that kind of filmmaking.
But you know what? Again, and one of my favorite lines is, I think this kid's dad's dying.
Was it subtitled?
Yeah.
Dubbed?
No, subtitled. Oh yeah, and I was the only non-Chinese person on the cinema. It was like, it wasn't full, but there was a good amount of people. Obviously, I guess people are seeing it and go, oh, we'll go see this Cantonese film. And so I was the only non-Chinese person in there until two other. It was probably about, I would say, 20 minutes towards the end. This happens a lot in this Odeon in Birmingham, right? New Street.
Just before you carry on with you saying this happens a lot in this Odeon, it might be happening in other Odeons too, and we'll get to that when we get to Backrooms.
But
carry on.
2 people walking in about 20 minutes towards the end, just sitting and sat there for like 5 minutes. And actually less than that, I reckon like 2.5 minutes, went on their phones, giggled for a bit, and then just left. What?
Do you know what that'll be? Because this happened a lot in Backrooms.
Yeah.
Kids finishing
and then
another film and coming in.
Yeah, no, that's what it is.
The amount of people who got kicked out of our Backroom screening for trying to sneak in without a ticket. Okay. We'll save that chat.
So one of my favourite lines in this film, and it's the only review I think I've ever liked on Letterboxd. Someone quoted it, and I think his dad's dying, and someone like
spoilers
is coming to someone, I don't know if it's like doctors coming to like help him or something, and he's like, no, my dad doesn't. My dad. Oh, yeah, that's it. The priest comes and is trying to like. Bless his dad. He's like, my dad doesn't believe in Christ. He only believes in UFOs.
You know what I wonder there? With there being so many Cantonese native speakers in the cinema, is it bad dialogue or is it bad translation?
No, it's really bad dialogue. I like that because I've seen a lot of people like who say they went with their like Chinese parents to watch it, and like everyone's like, yeah, this is like really makes no sense. So because I thought maybe it's that, and everyone's like, this makes no sense. It was really terrible, but because I'm in like a mood of like just watching random like films, it was great. You know, it was funny. I was like, when would I ever do that?
Incredible.
Yeah, and rewatched Obsession, and it was really good again.
Yeah, I think the longer that I kind of sit with Obsession, like without a doubt now, it's a modern classic.
Yeah.
It's something that when we've got kids, and we're talking to our kids about films, same way, I was going to say our parents, but Exorcist wasn't really our parents' generation, but people of that generation talk about something like Exorcist or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, Friday the 13th, Scream, these big films that came out. Obsession feels like one of the first... No, that's such a lie. I was going to say one of the first modern classic horror films, but I feel like I could name 6 off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's joined that canon of horror cinema. I think with Hereditary, with Midsommar, with... I personally put Weapons up there, and these other films that I think are going to be looked back on in years to come as classics from this era.
Yeah.
Obsession's absolutely there.
No, definitely. I mean, and didn't it get more numbers the third weekend as well?
It's the first time that's happened since E.T. in 1982.
Yeah. Mad.
Yeah.
That's so sick. Should we? What have you done?
Yes.
You watched anything?
So as I said, I'll make it quick so we can get on to some Backrooms chat. But I've been making my way through a box set of classic Universal monster movies that I've had for years. So far I've done 1931 Dracula, 1931 Frankenstein, and then The Mummy and The Invisible Man from 1932. I actually read the novella by H.G. Wells that The Invisible Man was based off before watching it. And I've also read Frankenstein years ago. And I think I read most of Dracula
when you were reading that.
when I was in school. But I don't think I ever finished Dracula. But yeah, there's a lot to get from them, even the ones that I don't necessarily like. Like, I didn't really like Dracula at all. I thought The Mummy, parts of that were quite entertaining, but a lot of it, believe it or not, it's not aged great.
Yeah.
A lot of blackface.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But there's certain shots, and then especially Frankenstein and the Invisible Man are both directed by, I think his name is James Whale, and I think he's from the Black Country, the director. They're incredible, especially like the ones he's done. Visually, they're so good. There's a lot that's sort of carried over from German Expressionism into that era of Hollywood monster movies. So there's these crazy elaborate sets, and the framing and blocking of everything's so cool, and they're so moody. And The Invisible Man was hilarious. It was so funny.
Oh, cool.
I've really enjoyed it a lot more than the book. I didn't get into the novella that much. I found the language not... Like, I understood what it was saying, but it was so archaic. I found kind of a barrier between myself and it, where watching the film, it's just funny. Yeah. He's just doing bad stuff and just killing people, and it's hilarious. And I've really enjoyed watching them. And then I'm doing a rewatch of the Evil Dead trilogy as well. Cool. So I've done the first 2, and I think the first Evil Dead might be the coolest movie ever made. I think it's so good, so entertaining. Oh, I talked about it last time. Yeah. But yeah, and so then I rewatched Evil Dead 2 as well, which is basically a slapstick comedy redo of the first Evil Dead. So the first Evil Dead's horrifying, the second one's hilarious. And both of them are incredible. So then I've got Army of Darkness to go next, so I'll probably watch that the next few nights. But yeah,
cool.
That's what I've been watching. Backrooms?
Yes.
So I think we should sack off the part where we guess what we just
Thank God.
thought.
Because you know what? That stresses me out.
Yeah.
It's been really stressing me out, and I'd rather just get rid of it. I don't know why it's been getting to me.
Okay. What did you think of Backrooms, George?
I really liked a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have very mixed feelings on it.
Yeah.
But I think it's so hard to detach the film from the narrative around it. This 20-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Well, because he was a kid. Obviously, at 20, you're not a kid, but he was a kid. 16, I think, when he made the original short.
14. No, 16.
No, he was 16.
Yeah, just true.
Mate, I know Backrooms law.
Yeah.
And then at 17 when he signed the movie deal, and then it's come out while he's 20. And I think it's really hard to detach the movie from that story behind it. And I think it's such a celebrated story, but I think it's also really hard to detach it from the fact that Obsession came out 2 weeks before it.
It's really annoying.
And I'm really trying to think about the film without having those two things in my head.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling. But I think there's a lot that I really like. And I think a lot of that is in the direction and the performances and kind of how stilted it all feels. And especially the set design and the music.
Yeah.
Both incredible. But a lot of the script I really didn't connect with. Mm-hmm. And whilst watching it, I kind of had this thought of, this does feel like it was written by a teenager.
Yeah.
But then I saw in the end credits, Kane Parsons didn't write it. They hired an external screenwriter. And I think, we'll go into it, but I think that could be almost one of the pitfalls of the movie.
Pitfalls being one of the episodes of the original series. On
Backrooms
Pitfalls.
That was unintended.
Yeah. I think a lot of that is similar to what I want to say. Let's talk about the positives.
Okay.
I think, the obvious one is the set design, isn't it?
Yeah. So
incredible.
Good. And the way they shoot it as well. I think the way they light it and really allow you to get a sense of what this area looks like.
The sense of space is, you are walking through it with them.
It's never lit like a horror movie. It's so bright,
and it gives it a weird
uncanny
dissonance.
feeling.
Yeah, uncanny.
And I think the performances are in a way that I think similar to sort of how David Lynch and Yorgos Lanthimos direct actors. There's this stilted feel to the way they deliver the dialogue that rather than it feeling unnatural and that being a flaw, that adds to the atmosphere and it adds to the aesthetic. The way they deliver lines in this really sort of jolted way, I think adds to the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I think the film's so good at kind of balancing the uncanny valley. With the direction and the set design, and I think the soundtrack's incredible.
Yeah.
I've been listening to the soundtrack a lot afterwards while sort of reading and writing and doing other things that I need to pay attention.
Yeah.
Like having it as background music, I think it's been really fun.
That's good. Yeah, I think... I wonder if we're just going to jump around a little bit. Maybe we just give in to jumping around a bit rather than going chronologically. Assuming you've seen it.
I think the thing is, all my mates who'd listen to this have seen Backrooms.
Yeah.
Everyone who's interested in it has seen it. It's been such a big box office success, which even though, unlike Obsession, which is such an incredible film, that you're rooting for it for that sake. I'm really happy this has been such a success.
Yeah.
I want more uncanny, Lynchian, like horror films to be out there. I want more, obviously not original, but different ideas that aren't sequels.
Yeah.
This film being a success, and this and Obsession basically annihilating a Star Wars movie at the box office is really fun.
It's sick.
Like, it's so good. So I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. I think, I mean, one of my favourite points, because you talk about like the performances, is when he first discovers it. First of all, that like some of the realizations of the concept, or some of the is that the right word? Yeah, I guess so. Like, the little slit in the wall, like little things like that. I just loved how they brought us in to the world, because I'd not seen that before. But you can right. How am I going to word this? Okay. Okay. Park that. I would just want to say, when he first walks in, his reaction to first walking in made me go, yes, because one thing that really pisses me off in horror films is when like people discover something and they're like saying, what the hell, like talking to themselves, and it's like, and it annoys me, like especially when film like this where it's taking itself seriously.
Yeah.
And he just walks in and he's like silent. His reactions are like what you can imagine how you would react.
Okay.
I think. What do you disagree?
There's a few moments, and I think the way that swearing's used in the movie feels very immature.
Right.
There's quite a few instances where he goes, what the fuck? And it feels like that doesn't seem as though that's what someone would actually say. It seems as though what a young writer would write
But
down.
for a bit, when he first walks in, he doesn't say anything.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
But then as it goes on, there's a few bits where...
Like when they go in later on with the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely, which is why, like, that scene, I was just like, oh, that... that was his reactions was just perfect. I think, like, and going in and out, I really love that. But that, you just remind me of that when you talk about the performances. But I think overall it did a really, really good job of capturing that feeling of looking at a Backrooms image.
Yeah.
And being like, I've seen that before. Tapping into that, like, vague memory that, like, we definitely all have, because that's why the Backrooms image is so, like, why everyone, like, talks about it, understands it. Because when you look at an image like that, you're like, what? I swear I've been there.
Yeah.
Like, and I think overall the way that they extracted the horror out of that feeling and used that for the horror, I think was really good. And things like that little slit in the wall, like when you walk past someone, you see like a little light in a dark room, or so, like things like that exist, but this is like a little bit off. It was in the middle of the wall, but you can think of times where you've seen things like that, and I think that was really well executed. I think for
what you're saying there about the little slit in the wall and seeing a light go by, it really reminds me of a scene in like the parts of this movie really reminded me of this one scene in Lost Highway. That is another one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen in a movie. And have you seen Lost Highway?
Oh, yeah, when I was like 14,
Okay.
I think. I can't remember it.
So there's a scene in it where...
No, I've seen Mulholland Drive.
Ah.
I always get them mixed up, and I've not seen Lost Highway.
Okay,
No.
I'll be vague with how I describe the scene, but essentially you're seeing something happen in the foreground, there's a house in the background, you see a light move in the window of the house, and it really shut me off when I saw it. And there's moments like
Watching
that in
that
this
tomorrow
film.
night, you've sold it.
Okay. There's moments like that in this film where it's just little things. It's like when they go down into the room with all the laundry.
Yeah.
And in the background, you can just see what I realised was a cardboard cutout. But you can just see sort of a figure, and attention's never brought to it. There's never a point where there's a jump scare or a sound effect or a character notices it. It's just things like that constantly in the background of shots. That's so genius, because it means that when you do repeat viewings of this film, you're not anticipating a jump scare, you're not having those moments ruined for you. It's still going to be just as terrifying. And I think as well, Kane Parsons, from listening to interviews with one of the producers of the film, even though not much is revealed about the history and identity of what the Backrooms are, he knows exactly what it is.
Yeah. He said he started the series knowing everything.
Yeah.
Didn't he? Which is, I think, sick. And
I
you
think
know what?
it's something we've talked about when we've been looking at writing. Even if we're going to keep something ambiguous, we need to know for ourselves what we're writing and what the sort of rules are. And I think it's clear from what you're watching, this isn't just random nonsense.
No.
There is such a clear understanding, and I've been watching and reading so many interesting theories into what the Backrooms are and why this has happened and sort of what it represents, both thematically and then within the narrative, how it's happened. It's also interesting.
No, it's really interesting. And yeah, I really like that. And you know what I love? I love the fact that he refers to it as a project rather than a film. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on why when he says, like, this project. I don't know it, because I don't know if it feels like something he's like, that he really sees himself in, like he's put himself, do you know what I mean? Rather than like something he's just doing, it's like really putting himself into it. It feels, into the making of it.
Although there's a lot of comparisons and we keep bringing up Obsession, but it feels impossible not to.
Yeah.
When talking about this film. But I think the difference between kind of Cory Barker and Obsession and Kane Parsons and Backrooms is Obsession feels like a movie that Cory Barker's made and he wants to make more movies. Backrooms is... I couldn't imagine Kane Parsons doing another film that isn't another Backrooms film.
Yeah.
And he's already signed on to do a second film. And this feels like he's not he doesn't want to be a filmmaker. He wants to tell this backroom story.
Yeah.
Which I think really comes across from the film. A lot of it doesn't adhere to the sort of common rules of screenwriting and common rules of storytelling. And I think when we go into the negatives, the moments that try to, I think, where the movie doesn't work, when it tries to be a more conventional narrative, when it just leans into this exploration of an aesthetic and how it's not the things that jump out or anything that's scary, but the actual aesthetic of what the backrooms are, that's the terrifying part.
Yeah.
The exploration of that is by far what's the most interesting part of the film.
Yeah.
And I think that's clearly what Kane Parsons is interested in. But I think there's moments where maybe it's the studio not thinking an audience will fully just buy into this experience. Maybe it's the screenwriter that they've hired has thought, oh, okay, I need to throw some thematics in. But I think there's a lot of sort of half-arsed, half-baked thematic through lines. And the script feels quite unfinished.
Yeah.
And the moments where there's setup at the start and then there's exposition throughout, and that final confrontation dinner scene that I'm sure we'll get to just really didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the film falls apart. But they're all the moments where it's trying to be a proper film. It's similar to what we said about Hokum a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It felt like it didn't commit enough to having this thematic through line, and it should have just committed fully to this weird backrooms aesthetic and make that the film.
Yeah. No, I totally... I mean, I want to talk about some of the things I really loved first. The use of the wide angle, like the use of the wide lenses, I think was just amazing. Obviously for the long walking scenes, which I thought were really great as well. Obviously the wide lens it's kind of obvious because you want to get a sense of this space, but I think they could have. I think part of what made his directing really, really good was that they decided to use it in the real world as well. I think it could have been... It would have maybe been a justifiable decision to use more like, standard lens choices on in the real world, and then have down there be like different and like a bit, to show the difference. But actually, when you realise that actually they're connected, the world, having the weird wide lenses that frames the characters in, where you can see their whole body, like using them it connects the two worlds in a way that you don't realize they're connected until, and obviously it makes the whole film kind of a bit more cohesive. But I think it just established. I think that was just really good direction. I think from Mr. Parsons. The found footage sequence
At the start, and then the one as well.
What was the one at the start?
At the start, it's like a scientist going through the backrooms and gets chased by something very similar to the original short.
Yeah.
And then also it's in the middle when he brings in the two people who made the commercial for him.
Yeah. I'm assuming you didn't really like that middle one?
No, I like the middle one. Some of the dialogue I didn't enjoy. Yeah. But
I think the sequences were really well done. I don't think it was
when he puts the camera down and he's banging on the wall, and then someone picks the camera up.
Horrible,
terrifying,
awful.
Like, people squealed in my cinema.
That was horrible, and really, really good horror, and it was good. I mean, I think he kept it really similar to his original ones. I think there was some like Blender renders mixed in there with the real footage as well, which I thought was really cool. Which were just unseeable until I was watching an interview where he pointed out which ones were animated. And those sequences, they were horrible, and like the little hiss like that throughout the whole any found footage sequence. Such a good noise. It's like it's something so uneasy about that noise, but I think that's because of watching the original series.
I don't know.
That's what I'm connecting.
I think it's also because it's associated with older media.
Yeah,
like it's a noise you don't hear anymore. It's a noise that is made by older cameras, older computers. These outdated things that if you hear them now, it's usually shows that like what you're seeing is outdated or old. And I think a lot of when you watch sort of documentaries, true crime type things, they'll use a lot of footage from that era. So it might have the CCTV ringing. I don't know what the sound would be called.
Yeah, I don't know, hissing.
The hissing, the ringing, the earring that you associate with that era.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
And I think, is there anything else that was really great? Yeah, as you say,
I like the ending. I think the very final moments and the way the film sort of just sort of stops. There's you obviously have the big final chase scene, and then after that, there's not really any resolution to anything. There's no explanation. It's sort of implied that
just like
this character, that Mary, the Renata Reinsberg's character, isn't going to make it out alive, and then you just see like visuals of the back rooms that feel like they do more thematically for the film than any dialogue exposition scene did.
So I guess that like that final bit, so sort of it just kind of states, like this is the outcome of coming in here. Deal with it, which was that's a horrible image. Like, with the context and it was really, really good. I thought the characters, what would you call it? Not set design. Costumes.
Creature design?
Creature design. Yeah.
Oh, with like the multiple eyes.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Really
very
cool.
Interesting, very visually striking and unnerving without being too over the top. It never felt like it reached a point where it was just graphic and gory for the sake of it.
No.
It really hit that uncanny
level.
Really,
it just fit I guess it kind of what's the word? I want to say like leveled up, but it's not that. But it just added that little bit to everything else we'd seen inside, that in a way that just made sense, and it just felt really well thought out, and it is everything that we've been saying is what the direction and the set design, the feel is all to do with this
storytelling.
The visual storytelling is all to do with this feeling when you watch it that it taps into. And as you say, I think I finished for me, and I felt a little bit unsatisfied. I couldn't quite put my finger on why, and I didn't know if it was like because of the hype. Because with Obsession, I just had no idea what. It was just like, oh, this is coming out, okay.
Also, you were like me, you'd watched the YouTube series beforehand.
Yeah.
I've been following it since it started 4 years ago. I knew a lot about the Backrooms, and something I did want to ask you about was how much did you know before going in about the sort of concept behind it? Because I think until sort of those people turned up, I really enjoyed the scenes of Clark and Mary walking around the back rooms, but I did feel like there wasn't that much that I hadn't got from the web series coming out of it. And if anything, I got more out of the web series, the way the web series was sort of structured like an ARG.
Yeah.
And which if someone doesn't know, an ARG is an internet-based almost game or way of storytelling.
Augmented reality game.
Or augmented reality game where you watch clips that are meant to exist within this alternative timeline and then sort of piece together the story yourself. So you get drip-fed this information to do with the company that created the Backrooms, what happens there, and it's such a online-specific way of storytelling that I really attach myself to and really enjoy when I come across.
And also and now with the film as well, you can do that. I mean, I've seen a little bit, but not like studied it, or written it down. But like all the different timelines that fit together, you can make a timeline of the story because the series jumps around time like within a few years, and I think the film takes place a couple of months before the first Backrooms.
Okay,
I think, but then sometimes like in the film on the TV, when the scientist is watching it, it's like a couple months after, and because I think it's getting at this idea that the Backrooms plays with time and it's not so time isn't linear in there, but that's never stated. It's just like if you line up I think there's a bit in the original series where one of the guy's in a hazmat suit that's like disappears, but then like 5 episodes later, he reappears and it's never pointed out. But then the date is like months before he disappears. So all these things like add up, which is really cool to look into. And
thinking about it afterwards as well, I think
Yeah.
there is so much about the film that's there for you to discover and rewatch it, which I think is really cool.
And it just shows how well thought out it is by Kane Parsons. Like, he knows everything.
Yeah.
And I think all of this is just, I think he's got it written down all somewhere, and he's like, when we do this is being put there. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, which is sick.
Absolutely. One more point I want to talk about that I really liked. It's a small thing, but then I kind of do want to start talking about the complaints I had with it. Is the scientist who speaks to Mary Renata Reinsford's character at the end of the film, the way he's introduced and then reintroduced to the story, the way it's done structurally. It's at one point you just sort of get a glimpse of him looking at a monitor and seeing Clark walk around the back rooms, and that's it. And then 40 minutes later, when you've forgotten about it, you just see him in his house making popcorn, and he goes to his couch and just sees Clark on the TV, and he doesn't say anything, you just see his reaction, and
he's like, "That's the guy I saw," and
it's incredible.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's so well done and set up, and when the storytelling's visual and natural like that, the movie thrives.
Yeah, 100%. And I wonder if, because I can't think of his name now, the actor's name, but have you seen Creep?
No, but my friend who I went to see Backrooms with loves Creep.
I wonder if, because that's obviously a found footage film, I wonder if he like is inspired by Creep and got him in. I don't know. But I love Creep. It's so
I haven't seen it.
It's so good.
I know I'd like it.
It's just like
you're the third person who said
it's just mental.
You will love Creep.
It's just mental. It's so good. Yeah. So that you're right. That I hadn't really thought about that. But yeah, you don't see him for ages, do you? And then he pops up and he's like, so good. Because then I guess he's like, oh shit, that's where there's got to be an opening there.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So.
Okay, so what are you
negative?
What are you not feeling?
I really didn't like the therapy scene at the start. I thought it felt really clunky and very film schooly, very student film-esque. Felt very unnatural, but not in the stylized way that the rest of the film is. And when they tried to kind of pay this scene off at the end of the film, where they sort of, at the start, it's the therapist trying to therapize him and talking through his problems, and he's not accepting any of it. And then at the end of the film, she says, well, you're actually the problem. It's all your own fault. You refuse to accept responsibility, that she says. And not only does the dialogue feel clunky and not work for me, I did not get that from the plot of the film.
Yeah.
Other than from the characters saying, this is what you are, and these are your issues, and this is why your wife left you and you have these problems. From watching the film, you don't get a sense of that's who he is.
It doesn't. And it doesn't seem like she really she thought that.
Yeah, it felt like they needed a narrative through line, and it feels very like the antithetical to what Kane Parsons is doing and what the film's trying to do. It feels like the screenwriter's come in and gone, okay, I'm going to throw some character drama because we can't just have it all sort of be abstract lore.
Yeah.
But I think if the film had just been that, it'd be so superior to what it is. And I think the attempts to kind of give it this thematic through line about kind of accepting your problems and trying to run away from them, it just didn't work in that sense for me at all. And there were little things of like the fact that he lives in the furniture store and just sleeps in one of the beds in the showroom. That'd stink.
Yeah.
That felt like a very half thought through idea.
Yeah.
And these little character things of like him being a drunk whose wife left him, they felt so surface level, because it's clear that the interest of the director is in, and all the kind of thought and planning and preparation, everything in the Backrooms is so perfectly thought out and well executed, that the fact that these things are quite surface level, it really stands out. And I think if they were gotten rid of, I think the film would be much more superior. And I think there is a lot kind of going on thematically with what the Backrooms almost represents that doesn't need to be said, that you don't need characters sort of speaking expositional thematic dialogue at each other, and it just really took me out of the film that for the rest of it I was quite immersed.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe, it seems like they're trying to do a little bit too much, but then all the things that weren't, that were added on to the idea of the Backrooms, was kind of half-baked, and it was a little bit one-note, wasn't it, the characters? And I mean, therapy as a exposition tool is overdone, isn't it? And it's a bit like, come on. No. Yeah, I agree. That dinner scene. I think that's where my unsatisfaction came from a little bit, because I suppose it just didn't really feel something like that. It didn't feel earned. I think, and that's what I was going to say. The use of trauma, classic trauma is obviously classic
horror movie.
Trope.
The Babadook, Midsommar, Hereditary,
and I think there is a
Bring Her Back.
There is absolutely a would absolutely work. Trauma as a and Backrooms as a representation of trauma.
Yeah,
but
especially
I'm not sure here. I'm not sure in this film. I think maybe in a second film that could be explored, maybe deeper.
Well, I think kind of the stuff, because it's Chiwetel Ejiofor's character is Clark. The stuff with him didn't work as well for me. The stuff with Renata Reinsver's character and her mother when she's a kid, I think worked a lot better because it felt a lot more left open for you to connect the dots.
Yeah.
And
there's a bit more to do with memory as well, wasn't it?
And a lot to do with her confronting her memories.
And creating a space that's...
And feeling trapped inside because her mum was an agoraphobe and wouldn't let her outside. So then the idea of this endless inside would be terrifying to her and really play into fears that she'd have. But none of that said. You're just sort of given the pieces and you're left to come to your own conclusions. I've seen lots of people discussing it online. There's lots of ideas around whether her mum had been to the Backrooms and that's why she was an agoraphobe. You never see out the window in that first scene and there's knocking on the door. People are theorising, was she in the Backrooms when she was a child?
I thought that for a sec,
you're never given a concrete conclusion, and I think it's all so open to interpretation and discussion and can lead into people attaching their own thoughts and feelings and thematics to it. That's the kind of filmmaking I really enjoy. Well, the stuff with Clark, you're told, Renata Reinsver basically looks into the camera and says, well, you won't accept responsibility, you're the problem, you need to run away from the real world, and that's why you like being in the Backrooms, and that's never really shown, it's just sort of told to you. And I think that's where the frustration with it for me came from.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah,
big time. No, I agree. That was where I was when I was watching it. I was starting to go, I don't know. I felt a bit like, I think also it felt, I guess. I wrote that down before. I forgot to say, but I think it felt really. It was quite sudden. That change, wasn't it?
I thought that as well, but I have seen some analyses.
Because had he been in there for a long time? Is that
I think
implying?
over a week he'd been in there for.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of clues to imply that the Clark who confronts Renata Reinsver at the end of the film isn't the real Clark and is in fact a copy from the Backrooms.
That's what I was when I was watching it. I was thinking, this is gonna not. But then it obviously it didn't. Never ended up realizing whether that was true or not. So then, that would make sense.
Two big things that I didn't notice these things, and I saw them on a reel whilst on the toilet and scrolled past them. So I can't credit the original person who pointed them out. Apologies, but two big clues that's been given in there. One is when Clark first introduces Mary to the people at the dinner table, he says, "Look, you can eat them," and proceeds to take a chunk out of the man's stomach and eat it. And then the next scene, he is eaten by the big pirate version of himself.
Right.
And at the end of the film, when Mary's being taken through by the company that are investigating the back rooms, you can see like the pirate Clark
on the
be
table.
on the table, and there's scans behind him, and he has organs and a skeleton and a heartbeat and a pulse. So a big theory is that is the original Clark who went in, and when he's chasing Mary round and reaching out to her, he's not trying to attack her, he's reaching out for help.
Right, yeah.
But he can't speak, and he can no longer communicate
because
to her.
it's different, because that pirate Clark is supposed to be the life form, right? And then the others are still life in it. And so, people are saying, what's the difference between still life and the life form? I guess no one knows. It's all up for interpretation.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe there's a different... I think life form may be built from people who go in, but then the still lives are created from the memories of the people that go in. Maybe, is that what they're getting at? Who knows?
Potentially. But I think...
It's cool, though.
Stuff like that is
so sick.
So interesting and so cool. Also, going back to fan theories, I've been looking at loads of them. A big one is that the company that's investigating them, who I can't remember the name of them, begins with an A.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say AIM, but that's from Marvel, so it's not AIM. But they created MRI machines.
Yeah.
And when you get an MRI scan, you have to lie still.
Yeah.
If you don't lie still...
And they're like using MRIs at the end, aren't they, to get the brain scan? It's so sick.
Where if you don't lie still in an MRI scan, the image comes out all distorted and your features look like they're doubling. So people are thinking that what the Backrooms, it's an MRI experiment gone wrong that's then creating doubles of the real world. But when they move, that's why people's faces are blurred. That's why Captain Clark, as he's credited at the end of the film, is all stretched out because he's stood up or fallen over as it's happened.
That's so sick.
And none of this is explained. And it's all left for the audience to interpret. And there's so much faith that the audience will go away and take these pieces away and run wild with them. That's so fun. That those moments that don't work for me don't do.
Kane Parsons did. I'm assuming you've seen it. There's an interview with Anthony Padilla, I think, and it was like 2 years ago when the film was like just in motion.
Viral at 16 is the thumbnail.
Is it? Yeah, that one.
I've just seen a clip of him meeting up with Anthony Padilla now and saying, "I hate that thumbnail."
Yeah. So I seen that the other day, but in that interview, he says is it are there any fan theories that are correct? And he's like, there's one comment that I've seen on one of my films that is correct, and it's got like 8 likes, and like they've got it, and I mean that's just but you saying that then, because I thought, it must be the idea that it's like these memories that keep replicating, but maybe there's more to it. Maybe like the kind of final explanation of what it is. There's more to it, which I guess that there will be, won't there?
I think he has a logical conclusion in his head, and I'm pretty sure I saw in an interview that he's really inspired by the storytelling of Twin Peaks.
Yeah,
which I think is very, you can kind of tell from watching it. It's so Lynchian.
Yeah, it really is.
And as I've said many times, David Lynch is my hero.
Yeah.
He's my favourite artist ever. So anything that's inspired by him, absolutely love. But the sort of storytelling of Twin Peaks, the ideas about the Black Lodge and the White Lodge, you're never as an audience given answers, but it's clear that David Lynch knows what all this is, and there's so many theories.
You reckon? You reckon he knows?
I think so.
Really?
I think in it, well, at least in the original series.
Yeah.
I feel like by the time The Return came along, he just went, I'm just going to do whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just the most incredible thing
Yeah.
ever. But do you not think watching episode 8 of Twin Peaks The Return, the flashback one with the bomb that goes off and everything, you can feel almost a sense of cohesion in that. It's not it's not a series of random events. You feel like you're watching something that you can almost feel emotively because the director believed it and he was making it. And I feel similar about the Backrooms.
Yeah.
That Kane Parsons does have this logic in his head, even if it's only logic that works in the context of the Backrooms, that he follows whilst making these shorts in this film, and what he'll probably go on to make Backrooms 2 and Backrooms 3 and Backrooms 4.
He mentioned that didn't he, a TV show. He said he always wanted to go into TV. He never expected to get a film, and he always had this idea of a TV show with the Backrooms, exploring different things. And then it's funny, Gary Barlow has said, I've been thinking about be cool to have a TV show that different One Wish Willows. Just so, oh man, this is a crazy time.
It's so fun. So obviously Cory Barker said he'd want to do an anthology series where he'd then give it away to other people. Have you thought of any ideas for, like, if you were to be given an episode of like One Wish Willow, what it'd be?
Have you?
Not really. No. I've been thinking about it a lot, but I've not had any I like.
And
so if you're watching Cory Barker, don't message me yet. Give me a few weeks and then get in touch, and I'll have a banging idea for you.
I saw an interview, and he was like, and they were like, "Are there any that like all right?" And he's like that don't go horribly wrong. He's like, "Yeah, mate, that'd be funny if there was like one that just like went really well and nothing bad happened. That'd be funny. That'd be really funny." Yeah, it's. I mean, he had a really hard job.
Yeah,
so, made this film when he was 19. There's so much riding on it. Like, the people were going to be angry no matter what because they feel so invested, passionate, and like,
even people who love the Backrooms that don't like Kane Parsons' short films because his short films have creatures, or they call them entities in the fandom. They hate the fact that there's entities in the Backrooms
that aren't in the game version of the. Because people are angry that it doesn't represent level 100 of the Backrooms or something.
It was a post on 4chan of an abandoned warehouse. Like, shut up.
And he had a big job, and I think for the most part he did a really, really good job. And I think there were some things fell short in the storytelling, but like the bits that clearly it seemed like he had the biggest say in the direction, just did incredibly. And so there's no knocking on him. What? No. What are you gonna
say? I'm just gonna say, I feel like watching this, it feels very promising for the idea that they've already greenlit a second one. Like, there are some films that come out that are big surprise hits, like Weapons. Did you see Weapons last year? And they've greenlit a prequel about Aunt Gladys that's currently in the works, and I loved Weapons. I'll watch anything that I always forget his name. Director. Alex Garland.
Yeah, no, Zach Cregger.
Zach Cregger. I'll watch anything Zach Cregger does. I think he's incredible. The idea doesn't fill me with excitement. The idea of a second Backrooms movie, whether it's going to be an anthology series, whether it's going to follow Mary's character again, whether we'll ever see the same furniture store.
Backrooms is like infinite. So you can do anything.
But just the idea of Kane Parsons coming back to this project, I'm really excited by. And I will be there opening day like I was for this one. Theatre etiquette. You showed me a thing before that said theatre etiquette. It's to do with this film.
Fuck me. Oh my god. What is going on? I mean, with this one, I get it. I mean, this has been pissing me off for ages, and I've actually seen I was feeling really angry after seeing this film. It felt important to me, this film, because and like, I don't want to sound like I don't mean this in like a snobby way. I don't know.
No, we can be. We have a podcast where we talk about art house films. We're allowed to be snobs.
No, but it's just like this. Right, it's all these kids, and I don't want to be like anti-kid. I don't want to be a boomer. But I think it's an interesting conversation. Why can people not go to watch a film? Just shut the fuck up and watch the film. This is not your living room. If you're watching this, which if you're watching this, you probably don't go to the cinema and chat. But if you know someone who does, play this. If you are on your phone and you think you're hiding it, everyone can see your phone screen.
Okay. I had a friend who made an amazing point about this.
Yeah.
My mate who I go to the cinema with is diabetic and
Yeah.
has to check his app every like half an hour
Yeah.
to make sure his bloods are okay.
Yeah.
So he has to check his phone in the cinema.
Don't care.
And he puts
Turn
his,
it off.
He puts his
Don't
phone. He puts his phone on low brightness.
Yeah.
He goes like that and puts it away.
Yeah. Well, look, medical. I'll make exceptions, but I can see when you go on Snapchat and start to message like the person either side of you and behind you can see your phone, and we know you're on Snapchat and you start taking flash photography. Do you have that? Why are people taking pictures with the flash?
My cinema wasn't bad, you know. It was full of kids.
Yeah.
And come and sat next to me in a group of like lads. I'd say like maybe GCSE to A level age, all in like full trackies.
Yeah.
And I thought, God, are they going to talk? It started, and one of them shushed their mate, and they were silent through the film.
Nice.
The cinema was silent. Everyone was proper into the movie, other than a few gasps at bits. And like people get scared and then chuckle afterwards, which I think is perfectly fine in like a packed out horror film. We did have quite a few kids walk in after the movie had started and try and find empty seats, but
Get there on time.
But no, because they were clearly had bought tickets. They were clearly not 15. Wanted to see the movie, bought tickets for another screening, and walked in. And because they'd walk around and then see an empty seat and sit in it. But I think because they were so scared about getting kicked out and get attention brought to them, they were all silent. Some of them did get kicked out.
Yeah.
Some of them, like 10 minutes into the movie, got kicked out by staff who worked there.
Oh,
and that was the most distracting thing that happened.
Yeah, well, there are a few kids behind me talking. Right, and if you're talking, everyone can hear you. Why do people talk out loud, not whispering? I don't understand it. It actually blows my mind, and it's annoying. Like, I have just such a visceral reaction to people making noise in the cinema. Like, it's really like it's bad. It's like bad for my health to go to the cinema. It's one of my favorite things to do, but I almost never enjoy it. It's like it's crazy. Two kids were chatting behind, and then like the staff member came in and said, "Hey, come over here. I want to talk to you." And then didn't see them come back in. And actually, I saw them like standing by the door on the way out, but they didn't look they didn't make 15's young in it. But then I went to see Obsession, and that film's at 15. So like
no, that film's at 18.
No, sorry, Backrooms. Backrooms 15, and so kind of get it big internet thing, right?
Lots of like year 10s will be in
there. Yeah. So I understand why that's the case. It's just really fucking annoying. And then, but I went to see Obsession a couple of days later for the second time. First screening for Obsession was all right, but this one was rammed with kids. And then I was like, it was like 3:30 in the afternoon. So I was like, that should be all right. And it's an 18, so it shouldn't be kids. And then I was like, 18 actually is kids. In it, like it actually is. And it was full of like 18-year-olds. Yeah, literally. And like they were just chatting and like go like this. Sometimes like people's suites run out like maybe like half an hour in, so it goes away. But these people behind me, that they had like they had backrooms in their crisp packets. Like, it was infinite. It was insane. I don't know what they were, how they kept finding shit
oh my god,
in their crisps.
What a quote.
Bags, like it was crazy. Like kept going and going and going and going, and it was really annoying. And then people taking pictures on I could see the flash from behind going on the ceiling and then giggling like that. And then one woman did say, "Shut up, we're trying to enjoy the film." And thank you, my hero, because then it'd be quiet for most of the time. I don't get it, but maybe there is an interesting conversation. Like, are people being raised on watching films on Netflix or something and don't understand? But surely you must understand that you just shut up.
So I think if we go back to when we were that age, when we were like 15, first really getting into films, people used to do it back then.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a new thing.
No, I don't think so.
It's a new trend. I don't think cinema etiquette's dying. I just think we've always been pissed off by people talking in the movies. If you watch Scream 2, the whole opening scene is like a joke about people talking in the cinema.
Yeah.
It's not a new thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, phones weren't around 20 years ago, but the idea of people checking the phone in the film it happened. When I saw The Revenant when I was 14, person in front of me was on the phone throughout the whole film. I think you might need to just find a better cinema.
No, well,
because the light cinema in like our hometown is class.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And this Odeon is right bang in the middle of Birmingham, and it was £5.50 a ticket. So we left that, and Kate said, "Oh God, we just need to go to art house cinemas." I was like, what the fuck have I just said? That's the most like white person thing ever. But it's also like not false. Yeah. Like we can't be annoyed and then get £5.50 tickets for the Odeon. But
have you seen Scary Movie 6 has just come out?
Yeah.
And have you seen the screening in America where people wouldn't stop talking so much the owner of the cinema called the police? And then they paused the film and the police did a talk being like, if you don't stop talking, we will evict you from these premises. Because everyone was just talking.
That's genius, though. My Saltburn viewing was atrocious. I told you about that, right?
Yeah.
And I had to leave and watch the rest at home. But I they were like going crazy at like anything vaguely gay, and it was insane. Obviously, Emerald Fennel then did Wuthering Heights, and it was when we went to see that the same like crowd of people, like what you say, like people in like kids in trackies and that.
Yeah.
Like, when not
like
in
the fucking boys.
Yeah, not in a drug, but it was like an unusual. If just taking the film and the audience, unusual combination.
Yes.
But because it's so TikTokified, these are, like it makes sense that they're. Mm-hmm. But and I was thinking, oh God, I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be the same as Saltburn. Silent. All these boys. I was like,
when we saw Wuthering Heights, it was the same.
It was like, why? It was really interesting. I was like, whoa, why are you guys here? Like all these like laddie lads in trackies, but then they were just silent.
Just loved it. They just moved by the art.
I was like, yeah, fair play. Anyway, it's just been really getting on my nerves. This cinema. Maybe I'm just becoming a boomer, and I just need to buy more expensive tickets, probably.
Just I feel like also half the films when it's Oscar season and stuff, this doesn't happen because we just don't go see blockbusters.
Yeah, no, it's the popularity of these films on the internet, which is definitely the cause of it. Like people who maybe wouldn't normally go to the cinema.
It's proper like the 2 film a year crowd.
Yeah, I
think the average Brit goes to the cinema twice a year.
Really?
I think that's it.
Above average. Sling.
Mate, we go like twice a week. Also, it took me so long to process what you were doing. That was the most pathetic high five.
It was good. Okay, Backrooms, watch it again.
Yeah, I'd watch it again. I want to watch it again. I said I'd go see Obsession again in the cinema, and I haven't. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'd go see Backrooms again in the cinema, but I'm probably not going to. No. I enjoyed it. I think I'd get more out of it on a second viewing. Very excited to see what the future holds for this franchise, which is not something I feel like film snobs like us normally say.
Are excited for franchises.
But yeah, give me 6 more of these. Make them really weird and abstract and obscure. Take away all the shit surface level themes and give me wacky scenarios in the Backrooms, and I'm so up for it.
Big time. Like Saw. Just like the maddest twist.
Still never seen a Saw movie.
Okay. Let's have a little break and we'll come back.
Yes, I need more water. Because I feel like shit. I'm drinking so much water. And I'm just realising every time I take a sip, I'm thinking, God, I'm drinking so much. Just cut that out. That was such a nothing sentence. Last time I saw you, well, not last time I saw you, because last time I saw you, we were watching Take That.
Yeah.
Last time we sat on this couch, I made a little challenge. Mm-hmm. I asked you to make a list of your 10 favourite films of the decade so far.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if we wanted to run through those lists. I've made one as well. That was dirty.
You see that decision of whether to do it into the mic or not, and I was just a bit late, so it was just halfway.
I think we're going to do this instead of doing the 20 questions, guess the film round, because listening back, I didn't think it's that engaging.
And thank God, because arse to edit as well.
I think also because the questions, a lot of them are so geared towards us.
Yeah.
People listening might not be able to follow along.
100% agree.
So I think doing something like this where we can kind of, because the idea of that was to show some of our own personal taste, a little thing like this every week where we give each other a little challenge to go away and have a think and come back with some films we like.
That's our meal deal question era.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was thinking, do you want to go through? I'll say my number 10 and you say your number 10.
I haven't put them in order
Oh,
because I can't put them in. So
have.
So I'll no, that's fine. I just hate orders. Same reason I hate like ratings.
You see, I hate ratings, but I love ordering stuff. I think ordering a list is so fun.
No, I can't be doing that. It stresses me out. It
Yeah.
causes me like issues. But I will tell you, planning for this has made me realize how little I've watched in the last 6 years.
Oh, really?
It kind of makes sense because since the start of the decade, I've been in uni, and like through so many periods where I just couldn't get to the cinema. Like I haven't seen any of the Dunes because I was just so busy at uni.
Not on my list.
No. But I mean, they're big films that I haven't seen barely any of the ones that have been nominated for like Oscars or like any of these big dramas.
See, I'd make a real effort to try and see all the Best Picture nominees. And this year I got to see all the international feature nominees as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and throughout I was away for like 6 months.
Yeah,
so
you were.
I saw one film.
Which film was
One
it?
Battle After Another in Bangkok.
Oh, so good though.
And so these are
How dare crime interrupt our beautiful podcast.
So these are the ones that have really, I mean, yeah, some of them, are possibly what I think are the best, but also just what have the biggest impact on me. You know, do you know what I mean?
How about this?
I've just looked and I've actually got 12 screenshots, so I'm just going to tell you them.
So do you want to run? Should we do it one each? Actually, do you want to say your first one? And then I'll say one, and we'll go that way, and then we'll finish on you as well, because you've got more.
Yeah, let me think of two to get rid of.
Oh no, I think keep them in. I want to. Or
no, I'll keep them.
But can you tell me what they were as honourable mentions?
No, they're just in my top 10, but it's 12.
Okay.
Sorry.
So.
Okay. Honestly, I'm just going to say, because we spoke about it so much, Obsession's going to be on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's, I think, but because of how, just what it represents about film coming back, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, it's just, I don't know.
What is that, mate? What is that voice?
I don't know. But it is just really exciting, and it's only been like a week, but I think it's really going to stick, and it's really going to really be, as you say, a modern classic, and I think it was just really it's such an exciting film, and obviously super well made, but also just it's just so cool, and I think it's gonna live for a long time.
Nice. Yeah.
That's
I mean, I don't have too much to say because we've talked about it so much, but yeah, I agree. I think it's incredible. And my number 10, I've gone for Surat.
Okay, yeah.
That was for a film from last year. I didn't get to see it till February because of UK releases. I think it's a Spanish language film, but set in Morocco, about a father and son traveling through the desert, these desert raves, to try and find his daughter who's run away from home. Very interesting film, very uniquely structured. There's definitely a point halfway through where it feels like it completely shifts gear and just keeps you in like a throttle until the very end. I think it got very interesting subtext as well. My friend who knows a lot more about the religion of Islam than me, because I think is it Islam? I don't know for certain, because we talked about it after the film, but it's been months. But Surat is it's from a religious text. It's like, I can't remember fully, and I kind of can, but I don't want to go and say it in case I'm wrong. Yeah. But I think it's to do with like walking between life and death, and he took this very religious interpretation away from the film, and I took the film to be much more about war and sort of trying to find peace in wartime. And I think it's just such an interesting film, incredible soundtrack, can't stop listening to it, and just really like disturbing as well. Like it finishes and you just feel like you've been through something.
Yeah, great.
Do you want to give us another one?
Here's one, potentially a bit of a rogue choice.
Okay.
But I think about it so much. Maybe this would be like 12. Maybe this is more of an honorable mention. I think about it so much, and it's what do you think it is?
I don't know. I've got no idea.
It's Trap. It's incredible. This film is filled with problems and things that makes no sense. But
your husband's the butcher.
I don't care. Logically, this film doesn't make any sense. But I've honestly one of the most visceral reactions I've had in a sort of stress and like.
I'm not laughing because I'm taking the film because that's such an incredible choice.
And I don't know, when I'm walking around somewhere that I feel a bit stressed. Like the feeling I get from this film it comes back to me, and I love M. Night Shyamalan. I think what he represents in filmmaking is so important. Like he's so like most of his films are probably quite shit, but he has an idea and he makes it, and I just love that. And I think I would rather be like him as a filmmaker than like a Spielberg or something. Like, I think he's like, this is an idea. Is it going to work? I don't know, but I'll make it and find out. And sometimes they don't really work. Like A Knock at the Cabin. I
didn't see that.
Didn't really work.
Trap's great.
It didn't really work, but it was like it did some. It was good as well because it did something and you can see him in all his films. And I think this is my favorite of recent time because the other one would have been old. But I prefer this to old.
Great shout.
So yeah, and I think after watching this, I really got into M. Night Shyamalan when I watched loads of his other films I hadn't seen before, and yeah, I just really love him, and you can see him in this film, and his daughter.
Incredible, yeah, trying to make his daughter a pop star.
Yeah. So there you go.
I've gone for quite a basic pick. I think widely regarded as probably the best film of the decade, but I think absolutely a reason why Oppenheimer.
Right.
I think I still can't comprehend how that film was written and structured and shot and edited in a way. It just feels like such an impossible task because it's such a grand scale story and it just should not work at all. But it's the most thrilling and compelling blockbuster I've probably seen this decade. Everything about it just works so well. There's about 500 characters, and half the time you don't even remember who these people are meant to be, but it doesn't matter because the emotion of the story is so true consistently throughout. The music in it, it's the whole film, it's people in boardrooms talking, and it's shot and edited like an action film. It's fucking incredible. I saw it twice in the cinema, which is not something I really do anymore, is go back and watch the same film again in the cinema, and it just completely blew me away. I think also that was the first year I stayed up to watch the Oscars live. And I got to see it win Best Picture, and I was so excited that it won. Nolan was like the first director I loved, and I think it's to see him kind of start off making films that I connected to as a young teen, to then go and make something that as an adult I'd really, really connect to. It feels so mature, but still contains all the elements that makes Nolan so incredible, and the use of IMAX cinematography. Getting an IMAX camera and putting it right in someone's face to make it seem so intense is so incredible. But yeah, Oppenheimer's my number 9.
Cool. I would like to see that again.
Were you not that into it?
I think all the things you said are all true, and the filmmaking is amazing. But the dialogue and the so many characters, I struggled with the first, and and I really got around that time. I got used to watching films with subtitles. And then that was the first film I'd seen in ages that didn't have subtitles, and I was like, I felt so stressed, and so I would love to see it again. I think I would know what's going on.
Okay.
Better. But yeah, I mean, I did really think it was amazing. Didn't make my list. Okay, here's an interesting one. Okay, now I'm going to go with this 28 years later.
Yeah. Was on my list, was number 10, and then I saw Surratt, and Surratt knocked it off.
Yeah, just, I mean, I think we agree. It's just, it's just amazing. It's just insane. So chaotic and so perfect. Such a good sequel to the to the original. Amazing world building and like time building.
Yeah, I think there's so much about like the formation of society, and then sort of these philosophers I looked at uni when I was studying philosophy, and their ideas about what builds society. It's clear Alex Garland kind of took inspiration from that when you creating this film, which is just so cool.
Yeah. Incredible editing, cinematography, really just it's really fantastic. It's quite recent, so you know, probably a lot of people have seen it. Yeah, but yeah, so that was brilliant.
I've got one we saw together.
Ooh,
I saw the TV Glow.
Yeah,
just what do you even say about this film? I think Jane Schoenbrunn is like the greatest director to come out of this decade. I think their vision is so unique and so perfectly captures sort of such contemporary themes and such contemporary aesthetic. Obviously, this is a much more sort of conventional approach to a film than their other film, We're All Going to the World's Fair. But I think the stylistic choices, the editing, the colour palette, everything about it, the mood it leaves you with, it finishes and you just feel deflated and empty. And like you've got a pit in your stomach, which is exactly how the movie's meant to make you feel.
That was going to make my list, but then, well, maybe I'll cut that out with Alex entering, but then I
Okay.
realised... So maybe I'm not like, educated enough to put... I've watched a film recently called It Ends.
Okay. Oh yeah, you talked about this.
Did I?
Not on here, but you talked to me about it.
Yeah, and like super low budget horror film made by a kid, and I like it dealt with existentialism, like really well, like a really good existential like representation, and it was like just basically takes place in a car, and I thought the acting was great, and it was
how long is it?
Sure, 8-9 minutes.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
Yeah. I just really loved it. And
nice.
Go for it.
I've got All of Us Strangers, Paul Mescal and Andrew Scott in quite a surreal love story that also deals with Andrew Scott revisiting the death of his parents that happened when he was young. Saw this at Leeds Film Festival, so before it had come out. When it finished, I felt like I'd been shot in the chest. Just absolutely destroyed me. Even talking about it now, I'm feeling the emotions again. I think such a perfect film. Looking at loneliness, you feel so isolated watching it. I think the location, the way it's shot, there's such a surreal style to it. And it deals with sort of the idea of what's real and what's fantasy, and kind of letting your fantasies take over your life in such a way that feels so unconventional for those type of narratives. And I think it's incredible, and it made me cry like a bitch.
This is us speeding through them. Andrea Arnold's Cow documentary following dairy cow throughout her whole life. It's literally just camera following her throughout her life, and I think I saw this in Home Manchester where she did a talk about it, but I also wrote about it in my dissertation, talking about the individuality in farmed animals in film, compared it to Babe, and it was like a step into veganism for me. It was about probably a year later that I then became vegan, and this was an impactful film in that, and it's just absolutely beautiful, incredible cinematography.
Nice. I've gone for, I think, number 6, Red Rooms. Another film we saw together. A film that is so horrifying without you actually seeing any gore. It's about a murder trial in which a man is accused of filming himself dismembering a teenage girl. You never see this footage, but you feel like you've seen it by the end of the film. I think why this really sticks out to me is it really made me question my own relationship with extreme cinema and horror cinema, and made me reflect on whether it's moral to enjoy these things. And I feel like anything that makes me sort of question such a major part of my life and something that I enjoy, incredible. And it looks incredible. The acting's great. It's really horrifying. Definitely not an easy watch, but great film.
Red Rooms.
Yeah.
Echo exactly what you just said. No need to repeat that. I agree with everything.
Because you've got 12, do another one then.
Okay. Anatomy of a Fall.
Okay.
I don't know. It's not really the kind of film that I would normally like. Really connect with. It's long and it's dialogue and court as well, but I was just so incredibly directed, and like I think I love, like, similar to Red Rooms, I love not seeing anything and not knowing stuff, and like built and like being kind of kept at a distance from the characters in the film. I think is really powerful in certain stories, and I think it did it really well, and it was just brilliant, and the acting is just insane.
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
I went with my friends to see it at a film festival. When it finished, she turned to me and she went, "I need a cigarette."
Yeah.
And I think that's a perfect way to describe that movie.
Yeah.
Number 5, I've got Skinamarink, the experimental horror film.
Does that come out?
Yeah, 2022.
Mate, whenever I've seen that, I thought it was like 1991 or something.
No,
that's crazy.
Have you seen it?
No, not yet.
I don't want to overhype it. I think this is the scariest film I've ever seen. It follows what is essentially a nightmare that these two kids are having, in which all the windows and doors disappear from their house. It's all shot on VHS style cameras. I don't think it actually was. I think it's
this is
processed afterwards.
This is a film where I come across it and go, oh, God, I can't watch this now. I've got to really watch it when I need to watch it.
I watched it on a laptop in a bedroom,
in
a single bed that I was in, and I had to pause it halfway through and take a break because it just was that upsetting.
This is one that's like, I'm really excited.
But also, I've got friends who've watched it who hated it. It's very polarizing, but I think if it works for you, and if that kind of dream-like analog horror is the word I'm looking for. If analog horror stuff on the internet, like Marble Hornets and these other ARGs, your thing, you will love it.
Great. Okay, I've got Samsara by Luis Patino.
That's the documentary without narration, isn't it?
So there's another one called, actually, that Samsara I want to put on the list, because that's like a film just with like shots in it. But no, this is a different film. Samsara in 2 halves. First half is in Laos, and there's an incredible sequence in the middle where it says, and I watched this in the cinema, "Close your eyes," and it says, "Everyone close your eyes," and you close your eyes, and the lights go through your eyes, and you experience kind of representation of reincarnation, basically, and then you open your eyes and you're in the second half of the film, and it was amazing, and I'm so glad I saw it in the cinema. Like, there was like 2 showings. I think I saw it in home in Manchester, and I think about it a lot, and it was absolutely, it was beautiful and interesting. Questions about European directors making films, set in different parts of the world, like Southeast Asia, and then I think it's also set in Tanzania. No, I think that's wrong. But I think it was really dealt with really well.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's one of the criticisms that people bring up about it.
I've got The Zone of Interest.
I thought I knew that would be on your list.
Jonathan Glazer is maybe the best living filmmaker, although I'd have to think about that more. But I just think everything he does is incredible. Just makes me feel sick. Movie opens similar to 2001 with a black screen with just sounds playing, and instantly you just feel uneased. The whole point of the film is you just watch this family go about their daily life whilst living next to Auschwitz, and it's it's not what you say, it's what you don't see that's the most shocking part of the film. And I think it does a lot, especially in recent times, to look at how people can be so complicit in such horrific acts and how they can really detach themselves from what's going on, which is what Jonathan Glazer said at his Oscars acceptance speech when it won Best International Film. And the Academy did not upload this speech to YouTube. And it was the only one that night that wasn't uploaded.
That's weird. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Because he mentioned a certain conflict happening in the world at the minute.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I do know the speech.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just an incredibly visually striking film. Learning about the direction, basically. All the cameras would be hidden and they just get the actors to act as though no one was there. It gives it such a naturalistic edge, and I love extreme naturalism in films. I just think it's so compelling.
That's cool. Okay, Broker by Hirokazu Koreeda. Do
Do you have the poster for it there? Oh, I don't know this one.
Yeah, really. It's about this. It's about like an illegal child. I can't think of the word. Selling. What's the word? Where you selling?
Trafficking.
Yeah. About child trafficking. But there's this really lovely family who are like child trafficking, but they're like, but otherwise like this kid that they're trafficking would have like obviously like they're giving this kid a good life, but they're obviously getting paid for it. But they're like it's basically a road trip, and it's like just beautiful. It's like honestly, it's one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. And yeah, they steal a baby and to sell him, but they have like this amazing journey, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And all the characters are so likable, even though they're doing this awful thing. It's just wonderful. One of the most wonderful films I've seen.
Number 3, I've got After Sun. Have you seen After Sun?
No, I was thinking about this the other day. Weirdly, though. Can't remember why.
Maybe the most devastating film I've ever seen. Just very naturalistic, very true to life. And you become so invested in these people and their lives, and it's just I've seen it 3 times now. Every time it just like ruins your day, but in the best way, in the way that only great art can.
Yeah,
and it makes you reflect on your own life and your own experiences, and look at things that from different perspectives. And I just think does everything a great film should.
Yeah.
And it's just great. And Paul Mescal's performance is one of the best performances I've ever seen. Up there with Casey Affleck in not Ghost Story, Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah.
I think just that level of just incredible realism.
Yeah, I remembered why I was thinking about this film the other day, because I was doing this and I was going, that's going to be on Dan's list.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got I think one more.
Oh, I've got another 2.
Maybe I've got 2 then. Lunana, A Yak in the Classroom.
Don't know this one.
So this is technically a 2019 film, but it was released in the UK in 2023.
Get it out now.
If you take an average of that, it was released. Well, I guess released like worldwide.
I'll let you off.
Is set in Bhutan, and this guy goes to teach at this school, and I think it's a school that really exists, and all the kids in that really remote village in Bhutan are all like in it. They're all like kind of playing themselves, and it's just that's just one of them. It's one of those films that's just really a beautiful story that it's just kind of unfolding, not like crazy plot, just these really great characters in this setting that is so enticing, because it's just so far removed from what we experience like in our city in the West. And I'm pretty sure it's like the first film that had a carbon negative for like making, which is cool. I might be totally making it up, but I don't think so. Your turn.
Number 2, I've got The Brutalist. I
thought that would be on there. If I had seen it, it would be on mine.
Such an impressive film. I think it's 3.5 hours long, and just start to finish, the cinematography, the music, everything about it, it's stylized in such a specific way. It doesn't feel overly stylized. It doesn't feel to the point where in something like Barry Lyndon, where it's trying to look like a painting, but it's still got style to it. But it's still naturalistic. It just rides this middle point in such an interesting way, and it's so compelling. Adrian Brody's performance incredible. All the performances in the film are just brilliant. And because you become so invested in these people and their lives, the events that happen to them, you really, really buy into and are completely shocked and appalled by. I think, again, in modern times when there's such hatred towards immigrants, I think a film about an immigrant story in America is really important, really great. I think it's less about this one specific man and just sort of uses him as an example for just an average immigrant story. And watching it also, you wouldn't believe that it's not based on a true story.
It's not.
No,
What?
it's
I just thought it was
completely
a serial.
fictionalized.
That's crazy.
And I think to have this level of detail and intricacy and all these little quirks and moments about him, the buildings he built also are beautiful. Like, I'd love a bit of brutalist architecture, and I think seeing there's extensive scenes of him just on building sites, constructing things, and they're just it's such a compelling film that start to finish, I was just blown away by it.
Yeah, you know, the director didn't make any money throughout the whole making of the film, because he's like normally a commercial director. That's how he makes his money. But because of like the long, obviously making it, but then the press run of it, not getting paid for any of that, he didn't make any money from the film. So he just lived off his most recent commercial paycheck for that whole time. He was completely broke. For it. It was really interesting. I watched this video about him and flipping Honora.
Sean Baker,
who were both talking about the same thing. They don't make any money from their films because they're because they put everything into it and don't really take a cut until well after.
Also, I really liked Honora, but because of The Brutalist, Honora was a bit of a villain for me at the Oscars that year, because I really wanted The Brutalist to win.
Yeah.
And it didn't, and I was gutted.
Oh.
Is this your last one?
Yep, think so.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Another Round is on there, and this is probably the first film on this list that is the one I watched most long ago. I've only seen it once, but as I say, these films are ones that I think about all the time, even though most of it I probably couldn't relay what happened, but I think about it all the time. I guess there is particular scenes.
The dance scene at the end,
and
really
the scene where they first start drinking, I think, is always in my mind, in the restaurant where they're sat in a circle on the round table. These scenes really stick out to me, and I just remember a lot of these are films, actually, I suppose, that really make me fall in love with. I remember just falling in love with cinema again, and I think every film on this list I watched and was like, oh my god, I love cinema. And sometimes I have periods where I'm like, I fucking hate going to the cinema because everyone just chats. And then I watch a film like this and I'm like, oh my god, there's hope. You know what I mean? Maybe there was a lot of Marvel films and I was annoyed. And then I watch a film like that, I'm like, yo, we're back in the room.
Incredible. So would you say that's your number one?
No, there's no number one. I can't rank them.
Oh.
If I was to pick my favourite out of all these,
I've got a number one.
Go on, you tell me.
My number one's We're All Going to the World's Fair.
Yeah, I thought that was,
which we have already
so I thought
mentioned.
You preferred that to
I do.
TV Glow,
I think it's the best film of the decade.
Yeah.
I think I rewatched it, I was going to say recently, probably about 4 months ago. And I just think it's a film that the language of it and the style of it and everything about it narratively and visually and the storytelling methods takes so much from kind of contemporary online culture that it's my favourite film of the decade because it's so about this decade. Yeah. It's so about the current time. It's so about current sort of issues in society. It's just... I feel like because I've done so many of these now, I feel like you run out of buzzwords, don't you? Yeah. But I think the feeling that the film leaves you with really makes you feel like an isolated teenager, and it's this really horrific feeling that it ruined my day both times I saw it, but in the best way. And I think, as I was saying about some of the other films on this list, for art to really capture such sort of personal emotions, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick a favourite, man, honestly, reading out these are all. I didn't see any films in the past like.
I haven't
6
seen
years.
most of yours, mate.
It's crazy. No, I know, but yeah, no, true. I think I would pick Cow. I think it just means it just really means a lot to me. Yeah, and I think it's I've watched it the most, but that's because I wrote about it so much. But the cow in it, Luna, I feel like I know her so well, and it follows her whole life. So, you see her, like, I think no, not a whole life, but for most of it, like 4 years, I think it covers, up to her death. And it's just, I really got to know her when writing about it. And I think, I love that.
Great. Well, speaking of dead cows, should we talk about Come and See?
Oh, that was nice.
I thought
that was a good segue.
I thought,
is a segue good when you point out that it's a good segue?
I don't care. That's going on the CV.
That was sick.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're going to talk about Come and See. Finally.
Yeah.
The podcast is about the films that intimidate us, and we've talked about them for like
We're going to talk about it for about 10 minutes.
Yeah. No.
Because you've got to go get a train.
No, it's fine. I can...
Okay.
We got time.
We've got time.
Yeah, what do you think?
I thought it was incredible.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. It's the 4th highest rated movie on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
I think it's
4.6,
on the
right?
Sight and Sound top 100 list, if I remember correctly. Just an incredibly highly critically acclaimed film. I think it's very obvious to see why when watching it. I think something going into it, I was worried with it being so acclaimed that it was going to almost... I'm trying to think of the words. You can cut this out. I feel like when you get this far into the record, especially after a day of work, day of work, your brain starts to smell. But I was kind of worried with it being so popular and everyone agreeing that it's such a good film that it might not have had much sort of artistic or unique edge to it, with it being so appealing to everyone, but it really does. I think I think the kind of film it is, it's only going to be sought after by big cinephiles and film buffs who love this kind of thing. I thought it was brilliant. I thought visually it was impressive. I really connected with it narratively, and obviously we'll go into more. But yeah,
I was really intrigued by the title. Come and See. I was like, what?
Do you know the original title of the film?
No.
Okay. It was originally going to be called Kill Hitler.
Oh right, okay, well that makes sense. No, I was really intrigued by that title. Come and See. What was that? But really, I mean, the film. Obviously that I didn't know if that was going to be something to do with the plot, but it's literally the film is like, come and watch.
Yeah.
What we went through, and I think it is. I mean, it's so powerful. There is a point. Well, no, it was at the very end. It was at the very end where the images of Hitler started coming up, where I'd kind of forgotten that it was a real thing. I was kind of taken away by the events in the film, and like how that I was thinking about them in the film, and then as soon as by the end it reminds you that it was real, and I was like, shit, these were really things that happened.
Yeah.
And in my, like, when I was watching it, those events were real. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's what I was thinking about the film. I was like, this is so real to me right now in this moment. And then it says that things like this happen 600 to 600 villages, and it was, I think the title, come and see, it was just come and see. This is what we went through. Yeah.
So, just to, I feel like give a little brief what the film is. It follows a teenage boy who signs up for the Soviet army in World War II in Belarusia.
Yeah.
Which is modern day Belarus, I'm pretty sure. And he's taken away from his village. He goes to train with the army, and whilst training, they're ambushed by the Nazis, the German army. And then you see as the Nazis occupy a town and massacre the residents of the town. I think the film's very clearly split into two halves.
Yeah.
You have the first half, which is him joining the army, and then they get ambushed and them trying to get food, and then the second half, which is watching the destruction of this village. And I think the first half's much more stylized and has almost an almost surreal tone to some of the scenes, which then I think by the time you get into the second half, it's so naturalistic and so realistic that it just emphasizes how horrific what you're watching is.
Yeah. I think I was really expecting when it started, because again, I had no idea about what I was going to watch. When it started, I kind of expected it to end up being this sort of like epic long journey with this kid. But then by the second half, it's just that one event.
Yeah.
And and nothing else was needed. And that structure, I think that structure was really, really clever. I hate when people say that, but like really important for what it was trying to do. And yeah, it really caught me off guard, because when we get into that second half and it just keeps going and going, and I was like, oh, okay, this is the film, actually.
Yeah.
Really, yeah, as I say, it's really powerful. And I don't know how to talk about this without just jumping back and forth.
Yeah.
Help me.
You know, let's just jump back and forth.
Okay.
So I think at the start of the film, there's the opening scene where he's searching around on the beach looking for rifles, and then he gets one and joins the army, and his mum's begging the soldiers not to take him, but the soldiers take him anyway. And after, I feel like all that stuff, it was good, but it felt pretty typical for a war film. And then the first thing that really stood out to me was when they get to the camp where the Soviet soldiers are training. First of all, how kind of unprepared and scruffy a lot of them are.
Yeah.
They have broken shoes.
Because they're just people.
Yeah, because they're just people from farming villages. The reason he joins the army is because he managed to find his own rifle. But there's a real camaraderie between them. And sort of standard army movie things, because he's the youngest one. They always pick on him a bit, but it's in a very sort of brotherly way. And the thing that stood out to me from those first sort of 15 minutes was the camaraderie between them all. And then obviously the bombs start coming in, and the tone completely shifts. And it's shocking when it first happened.
Okay, so I guess we're getting to, I'm going to talk about some of the technical stuff. Like, the shots are long, and they stand back, and I guess this feeds into the title, but a lot of it is static. And you're just watching the scenes kind of unfold in a wide angle, because I guess, I mean, the events like speak for themselves. They don't have to tell you what to look at, and so a lot of that beginning is like that. And again, like when he goes into the army, I don't know, I was a bit like, oh, this is not the film I was expecting. It was really, I don't know, it's interesting, like when you have these expectations on these films that you're gonna watch, that you've been like, I was like, oh, okay, I don't know what's this is strangely lighthearted. I was expecting it to be really brutal, and then, as you say, those bombs drop, and from then on, it's like,
it's horrific.
But it does such a good job of showing the events through this kid's eyes. Like, that's how he would have been feeling. He would have been like, oh, this is fun, because he wanted to join the army. And then he's seeing the reality of it, and like, I suppose we are. And for him, his whole life changes. The sound design, I think, is some of it. Yeah, it's most incredible sound design, and its use of storytelling through the sound.
The scene following the bombs dropping, the sound design in that, when everything's so muffled. In a way that doesn't feel dramatized, like in a lot of Hollywood films, when you have an explosion and then everything's quiet and gets loud. It feels like his hearing's been damaged, because you're seeing it all through his eyes. Everything sounds really muffled.
It's disorientating, and there's like there's like an electronic when he's talking that's like, it's really disorientating.
And also in that first scene when the Nazi soldiers come down and start attacking the army base, you don't see any of their faces, and it really gives them this alien feel, and they feel like a serious
I don't thought
threat.
about that. Yeah.
And then obviously later on, when they're committing the atrocities in the village, you see their faces, because I think the point later on then is that men are doing this.
Yeah.
These are people doing this to other people.
Yeah. And I guess he's coming to that realization.
Yeah.
Like, again, like, I don't know, every like next thing that happened in the film, I was like, oh God, what I'm seeing this as if, and like the effects are being shown like as if I would be feeling these effects. And I think, I mean, again, talking about the sound design and like the changing like that when he goes to his parents' house or his mum's house, and that fly, they were eating the soup, and I was thinking, this is the fly. I was thinking, God, well, surely there's someone dead out here, and then there just wasn't. The fly was going around. It was making me feel uneasy, that fly, but I didn't. I was thinking, there's got to be something. And then they leave, and there really was nothing to worry about. And then they start running, and they turn around, and when she turns around and sees, it was that sound, because I think another film may have done a close up on the fly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
it's
such
he's just doing that. But I don't know that it's an open air. How like or like I don't know. It's like a hut. The flies would be around there. He's eating food. It was enough for me to completely forget.
Yeah.
And then she turns around and sees his village, I guess, massacred, and again there's like another tone shift, even deeper in, and it's absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
And it was just so perfectly presented. It was horrible.
If we can go back to a bit before, when they're in the woods, and I can't remember the characters' names.
Yeah,
and I did look them up. I mean, we're gonna butcher them either way, but I'm getting up the cast list on that one.
No, Gladys, no.
Yeah, it's Gur something. Glacier and Flyora.
Glacier.
Yeah. When they're speaking to each other in the woods, and the way the camera's positioned on their faces, and the most iconic shots of this film, when the characters are looking directly into the camera, that's the poster, that's what it's known for.
Weirdly, it never feels like they're looking into the camera, though.
It doesn't feel like they're looking into the camera, it feels like the camera's looking at them.
Yeah.
The way I found it felt like a real window into their soul. You felt like you were looking straight into these characters' souls and their inner deepest emotions, and that's obviously the point of why they're doing things, but it's so effective and works so well. This is so scattered, but I'm here for it. Another thing in the film that I found really effective was the constant motif of the German plane flying overhead, and it's this constant feeling that it's inescapable. What's happening, the occupation, the attack, they can't escape what's happening, and there's constantly this feeling that it's looming over them. And even in the lighter moments when they're carrying the Hitler statue around, and there's almost like goes back to a bit of laughing and a bit of the camaraderie again, it's still this motif overhead of you can't escape it, you can't get away from it.
No, 100%. And again, like that image is always with that sound of the plane. I don't know. I think the sound design is like honestly one of the best things. I think they layered. I guess it's because of the film making possibilities at the time that like they weren't able to record the sound on set. There's a lot of dubbed audio, it looks like. And I think definitely at the beginning where there's kind of more dialogue between the two, as you say, like adds to that. That, how did you describe that weirdness in the first half? That then is
the surreal nature of the first half.
Surrealness.
I feel like there's certain sequences that really lean into it, like when it starts raining and they're in the forest.
Yeah.
And the two leads are sort of dancing around in the rain and getting really excited by it, even though they've they've just been attacked.
Yeah, yeah.
And it does feel like that's their response to these events that's happened. How else can you react other than...
They're also children, and that's
Yeah.
like, that's...
And another thing I
innocence.
really enjoyed about the film, completely opposite to the completely opposite to the last film we talked about, was I love the fact that the two leads are actually kids.
Yeah.
I looked it up, they were both 16 when it was filmed.
Right, okay.
And I feel like they look it and it adds such an authenticity to the film. Which is the opposite of what we said about kids, where we were like, that they need to be actual children in this film.
Yeah.
But I think especially he's so young looking, and as it goes on as well, the events of the film cause him to look so aged, and he becomes so much older.
Well, I think he really does age, like, actually throughout the making of the film, doesn't he? Like,
really? I mean, by the end of it,
took a while.
He does have like wrinkles under
Yeah,
his eyes.
But I think that adds. I think throughout the making of the film, like I think from what I saw vaguely, I could be making this up again, but it went over for a long time, and so like he really did get older throughout it, which really, really adds to like, and his performance. Like, I mean, he's always that iconic face he's doing. He's always doing that face, isn't he? And it's so heartbreaking, just that.
Yeah.
That image. And I think, I mean, the first time it really got to me, like that face, is when his uncle, I think, is dying, and he starts saying it's his fault, and he's to blame. And
the makeup on his uncle in that scene is the most horrific burns victim makeup I've maybe ever seen in a film.
Yeah.
It looks so painful and horrible. Yeah.
It was just uncompromising, so brutal, super objective. I mean, I believe that this is how it felt, and apparently the writer did witness some of these events as well.
Yeah, I think he said if he would have included anything else that he saw, the film would have been like too extreme for people to endure. So,
is there anything about that first half? I mean, I think it lays the groundwork really well. Interestingly, the characters don't have tons of depth.
Yeah, but they don't need to.
They don't need to.
It's like when you look at some other war films as well, like a big complaint about Dunkirk when it came out was that the characters, you didn't understand backstories for them. Then a few years later, 1917 came out, and there's a scene where they talk about what they're missing back home and their partners and everything. And I think stuff like that ultimately cheapens the experience when the whole point of it is to be immersive. I think obviously the less you know, the better. The more you can kind of put onto these characters, and especially if the point of the film is for you to be in their shoes. Yeah. The less information you're given about this main teenage boy, you can then apply your own sort of history and your own things to their lives, so you can then end up more in their position.
And I suppose when all these young boys are like joining the army, like they just meet, and they just know each other from when they join the army, and I guess if we're going on that journey with them, that that makes sense. Yeah. And like a part of joining the army, because after watching this film, I looked up why are you joining the army, like why did you join the army? I found a Reddit thread, and people like someone asked on like Ask Reddit or whatever, and people were like, to start loads of people were saying to start a new life. Yeah. And I hadn't really thought about that. And people like, my life's shit and I just need to start a new life. And I still don't really understand why you would want to join the army, even based off that. But that is really clearly represented in this film. And also, I guess, maybe that's more the case now, but back then it was, he's excited to just, it's actually just heartbreak. It's just heartbreaking. Yeah. Do you want to go to this? Should we go to the second half?
Yeah.
The main event?
I think the reason both of us might be struggling with what to say about the film is because it's less something that you can kind of sit back and analyse, and more something you just need to experience. Yeah. And outside of saying it was well shot, the sound design was great, the acting was great, the whole point is you feel these very visceral emotions.
It's so visceral,
and
everything about
I think there's not much in just sitting here and recapping the film.
Yeah.
Other than I can say I didn't feel necessarily disturbed by the end of the film. I felt angry.
Yeah.
I felt so angry. I think just to know that these events happened, to know that so many people weren't just complicit in them, but enjoyed them, and then the very final scene of them confronting the Nazi soldiers and demanding, asking them why they did it.
Not taking accountability.
And the complete lack of accountability for everything. It's just, it makes you so infuriated watching it, which is the point of the film, and I think it's why it resonates with so many people, is because it's not something to sit back and sort of be picked apart and analysed, but something that you go in and experience and then come away from and feel like you have a greater understanding of these horrific events that happen to so many people.
Yeah. There's a few reasons, I think, why the burning of... So they take everyone in the village, put them in one barn, and burn that barn. And there's a couple of reasons why that, I think, is honestly one of the most horrific depictions of war crimes. And I think that the length of the scene and the wide shots where it's panning and you just see more and more flames, and then they're just adding more and more flames as it goes on, not cutting, and then it'll cut to another one where you're just seeing a different angle of it. I think and the time that you spend in that barn watching everyone crying and begging for their lives before they set it on fire, the length of the scene of them setting it on fire is giving me all the times. It's giving me enough time to remember all the faces that I saw in the scene before. I think, and I'm remembering some of the people that I saw, and and I'm thinking, they're in there. Like, there was, when I was watching that, there was they weren't actors at that point. It was, I could tell myself in the moment that they're just actors, but my body didn't feel that. And I guess the camera that they were using, and it felt it was shot like real war footage that we've seen of World War II. Do you know what I mean? All these things added to just how horrific it was. I also think in that scene where they're first, trapping them and taunting them while they're in there, the kids. Get out. No, joking. I don't think that was there an ethics board on this film. First of all, they definitely killed that cow.
Oh, I googled it afterwards. Yeah. So, and I wanted to bring this up to you, especially with you saying cow is your favourite film of the decade so far. So, the scene with the cow, they used a cow from a local farm that was ill and needed to be put down because it was suffering. But they said the director claimed he needed to show an actual cow being killed because if anything was sort of depicted unrealistically, it would take you out of the film. Yeah. So as an animal rights activist, how did you feel about that scene? Because reading about it, obviously I don't want to watch animals be killed in films, and there's quite a few films that I really like Friday the 13th and Michael Haneke's Cachet and a few others that show actual animal death in them, and I really do find them detractors on those films. Yeah. Where this one, it didn't feel as unnecessary as I felt the ones in the other films were, especially Friday the 13th. They just cut a snake in half. You could have just used a prop snake. It's Friday the 13th. No one's going to complain if it's a rubber snake.
To commit that hard. Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, I think this is maybe it's kind of a whole separate debate. Yeah. Not in a conversation about this film, but yeah, when I see things like that, in my head, that is a death on screen. There's no reason why that shouldn't be considered a real death on screen. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. If there's the most ethical. If you were gonna do that, is that the most ethical? I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know, because as you say, like if that had been a prop cow, it wouldn't have looked real. I
have a thought.
But I mean, there's ways you didn't have to use cow, but yeah.
I have a thought, but we might need to cut it out.
Yeah.
I don't know if bringing it up in this discussion is the most appropriate time.
Yeah.
But have you watched Rick and Morty?
Yeah. Well,
do you know the spaghetti episode of Rick and Morty?
No, not off the top of my head.
It's an episode of Rick and Morty where they go to a planet where if people commit suicide, their intestines turn to spaghetti. And then they really want spaghetti, so like they find people who like are terminally ill and get them to kill themselves so they can have ethical dinner. And just with you saying the most ethical way to do something unethical, it just reminded me of that episode of Rick and Morty.
All right, okay.
But also, I don't know if bringing up an episode of Rick and Morty when talking about a movie about, the Holocaust.
That's what the podcast is all about.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. We're jumping. But on that note, I don't know what the answer is to that. That's like, I mean, now, there's no... The props has got to be so good now. There's no excuse.
Yeah, I mean,
they're probably
to go back a couple of weeks, we did talk about a movie where you did see like a dead man's arm get impaled.
That's true, but he was already dead.
Yeah,
not
true.
dead for the film.
Not dead for the film.
And I think if he's dead, that's not unethical. I don't know. Maybe I don't believe that. But
stop breaking into the morgue for our next short film.
The kids in that, like. Did you see the kids crying in that scene in the barn?
Yeah.
That was real for them. Like, they obviously weren't acting, like they were in terror. And I mean, it really added to the film. I mean, I hope they're not like scarred lifelong. Otherwise, but if they're not, I mean, it's kind of amazing because they were like in absolute, like real, like they were really feeling that scene. And again, that's really added to the next bit. But I think it would have been nice to have some people on to chill them out. I don't know. I do feel really bad for them because they were really being trapped in it. I think they really thought they were going to die. I feel really, really awful for those kids. But I mean, it really added to the scene. It was, and then at the end, there's that really interesting sequence again that just kind of, I mean, it just
shows real world footage.
It just brings it home,
doesn't
it, that it's real. And then that kid comes up behind him and he comes up behind the kids. Actually, it's before that shot, isn't it? And it's the that kid's looking at that picture of Hitler before he then ends up shooting it. And he's dressed like him at the beginning, and it's, oh my god, here we go again. It's only going to happen to more and more kids. The story, I guess, the story doesn't end at the end of the film, does it? It carries on.
Yeah.
And and then he starts shooting the picture of Hitler. And we see all this footage of Hitler, and then it goes into what else do we see in that? It goes to
see Holocaust victims.
Yeah.
And we see the bodies of them.
But then we also go to like I don't know what it is, like upper class people.
Right? And sort of the kind of way people can distance themselves. Again, looking at back to like something we were talking about earlier with the zone of interest and the way people will dissociate from the horrors happening around them and kind of live a life almost in total ignorance of kind of the horrific things happening literally by their government, caused by the things they voted for, because it's not happening to them. It's fine.
Yeah. It's horrific. But no, not but. You shouldn't say but.
Yeah.
It's horrific and really excellent. And it's been the film I've been really excited to see on this intimidating list. And I don't know, can I say it lived up to the hype?
I think absolutely. I think it's a very well respected and acclaimed film.
Yeah, I would watch it again.
Yeah, I'd have to wait a bit.
Yeah, not soon. I think there's a lot to explore in it.
Yes.
Again, I think I can see there being different things to get from it. I don't know. I think learning more about the film and the film making, which maybe we should have done for this.
Yeah.
I guess we've been busy.
We went to take that.
Yeah.
I went to Brighton. You went to see UFO. What was it called? UFO.
Ciao UFO.
Ciao UFO.
Best film of the decade.
That's your number one.
Yeah, I think with extra context, there'd be so much more to gain from the film.
Yeah. What I will say is there is no Blu-ray copy of this film released in the UK,
right?
Which is really frustrating, because obviously with God, I'm getting tired. It's getting late. On the Silver Globe, I completely forgot the name of it. The Blu-ray that I got came with a documentary about the making of the film, and it provided so much more context. And you find with a lot of home releases, you get things like that. So a UK copy of this film that I could get that won't cost me like £40 because I've got to import it, with these sort of commentaries and documentaries and stuff included on them would be really nice. But even though it's such a well-known and famous film, the only way you can watch it in the UK is by renting it off Amazon.
Yeah.
Which is what I ended up doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's been a ramble.
Yeah.
It's hard though. I think it's similar to Irreversible, where it's just like,
and kids.
Yeah, you just
the only film I feel like we've probably talked about was on the Silver Globe.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
it's rough,
especially with a lot of sort of art house, visceral, experiential films dealing with difficult subject matters. What I'll say about this one is, I was kind of relieved that it's not a subject matter like Kids or like Irreversible, where I'm almost scared to come and talk about it. Like it's just a commonly agreed like horrible subject matter.
Yeah, 100%.
So I didn't watch it and then think, oh no, I have to go and talk about this now.
Yeah. No, I was quite excited.
Yeah, I was excited to talk about it, but then also realised it's going to be very difficult to talk about.
Yeah, and it was. And we're going to have to get better at these timings on how long we talk about each thing. Maybe not. Well, it would be nice to carry on and on.
Yeah, to be fair, I think if we didn't have
limited time,
and if we started earlier, well, I don't think we could have started earlier.
When we get a studio,
we'll
have all the time in the world.
So, George, would you watch Come and See again?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'd watch it again, but I think I'd need a bit of time before we watch it again.
Yeah.
Right. So we have obviously you're getting the wheel up.
What's it called?
Wheel of Names. We have to decide what new release we're going to watch next.
Yeah.
So I think there's 2 films coming out in the next 2 weeks that I think will be both very different but quite fun to talk about. I'm going to end up seeing both these films, so it's purely which one you'd rather do and talk about. Or we could even do both. So we've already talked about this.
Can't add in another film.
Disclosure Day.
Okay.
Spielberg.
Yeah.
We were just saying before, we don't think it looks very good.
No.
Well, apparently the reviews are good. Or Toy Story 5.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
Anything with Toy Story 5 comes out on the 19th. We wouldn't have as much time to see it, but I'd definitely be able to squeeze it in.
Let's say Disclosure Day. I'm not that excited about it. I'm not a massive Spielberg.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared to talk about Spielberg.
Yeah.
Just because his films have never really clicked with me. I've seen E.T., I've seen Jurassic Park, I've seen Jaws. No, we've seen The Post.
Yeah. That was Spielberg.
That's Spielberg?
I had no idea.
Fucking terrible movie.
I think let's do that, because I think there'll be more to talk about maybe than Toy Story 5. We can touch on Toy Story 5.
Okay. I'll definitely be seeing Toy Story 5.
I'll be seeing both. Yeah, big time.
Okay, let's do Disclosure Day.
Okay. And next week's intimidating film.
Whoa.
Get some volume.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Oh my goodness.
It's time. Oh, okay. So, 2 weeks' time.
Neither of us have seen The Godfather. Can you believe that?
Yeah. I mean, I can, because we're intimidated by it.
Yeah.
But, shall we... I don't even know what I'm going to say.
Should we watch it and then talk about it next time?
Yeah.
Guys, we're tired and I need to go home.
I'm so fucking tired. Oh my god. I didn't sleep properly last night. I haven't slept in like days.
Get to bed, my guy.
Oh, maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. I'll watch it ends tonight.
I'm gonna get home about 12 tonight.
Fuck that. Are you in work tomorrow?
Yeah, that's why I've got to go back. That's fine. Okay, cheers, guys. Thanks so much for watching.
Thanks for watching a very sleepy episode of movies that intimidate me.
We're still. I don't know what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
On early teething issues, teething problems.
Yeah, but I think.
Anyway, if you've been watching this, cheers, and see you later. Join us next time. Oh God.
Oh.
Bye.
Woo! It's hard, man. Oh man, I'm so fucking tired.
Yeah, me too.